2-on-1 with Utah State head coach Gary Andersen. Coach, you have a very unique relationship with Kalani Sitake and one that has extended over a number of years. How has it evolved over those years as you two have crossed paths?
Oh, I think it's it's continually grown in a positive way from a professional standpoint and really from a personal standpoint. As you go through this profession, you go through all the ups and the downs and the goods and the bads, and I think that the friendship always helps in the good and helps in the bad and helps in the okay. So I've had the opportunity to obviously hire Kalani and work with him, and that's been awesome. And continue to watch him grow and his family grow and have the success that he's had as a coach is it's great to see, and it's rewarding as kind of, I guess, early on as a mentor or whatever, as he's under us as an assistant, and he continues to grow and develop and becomes a head coach. So he's a great man. I love him. Great family man, grinder, tough guy, and and probably most importantly, he's a really, really good friend.
Coach, how's your team responded to practice this week thus far after the loss at Air Force?
Very well. This is a resilient crew. They understand that this is a competitive game, and we're playing good teams. And we've had an opportunity to play and beat a few good teams. We've not done so well against a couple other good teams, and ended up on the losing side of it. But they deal with the losses. I think the best thing about them is they don't just walk through it and just move on to the next game, and let's forget about that one. It hurts. It stings badly. I think they just put a little notch in their memory for those losses, and they remember that. But they do bounce back. Our whole philosophy is to you have to remember those losses, and you also have to remember the wins. But when you come back and you get back here at 1:45 on Monday, we need to put it in the rearview mirror. But keep the good experiences still in the back of your head. Keep those bad experiences back in your head, and I think that always helps you become a competitor. But they move on in a good way. Had a good start to BYU last week, yesterday, and we'll continue to grow through the process here. But they love football, and I think that's one great thing about it is they're fun to be around, and quite frankly, they bring me back much faster than I can bring myself back, I suppose.
Utah State head coach Gary Andersen with us on BYU Sports Nation. Maybe resilience and energy are the strengths of this team, but when it comes to on-the-field play, what is the strength of this team when they get in between the lines?
Well, I think we at times, we need to kind of find ourselves with that. And I think that's a great question right now. Offensively, we look at to be fast-paced offense that gets up and down the field and keeps defenses off pace. And quite frankly, we've struggled with that a bit as we've gone through the last few weeks. And it's not just a single part. It's as it is on everything when you talk about a team sport. It's a whole, and I don't just include the offense on that. I include the offense, defense, special teams, and we need to work to get that to be who we are. And we want people to look at us and say, hey, this is a fast-paced offense. We move up and down the field. We try to keep defenses off pace as far as their calls and the things that they're doing, and that's who we want to be. We were like that early. Wake Forest game, I felt like we were really like that, and we were like that at times in our 3 conference wins that we've had. We were like that against Stony Brook. So that needs to be our identity on defense, much as the Cougars are. We want to be a defense that prides themselves on being physical, being sound, fundamentally tackle well and play good team defense, and then change the game in a positive way on special teams as a goal every single week. And when we've won, especially in those tight conference games that we've been in, our special teams has changed the game in a very positive way. So I think we've been pretty good in that area, and that would be us. That's who we'd like to be on paper.
Let's specifically focus on the quarterback position. Jordan Love, everybody knows how great of a player he is and how talented he is. How would you evaluate his year thus far?
Well, the offense hasn't been exactly what we wanted it to be, and it's so natural to just draw your eyes and to Jordan. And I've gone back and I've watched just even last week's game a couple times, and there's many opportunities for this offense to take off, and there's many opportunities for this offense to explode, which in turn would include Jordan Love having big plays, which is everybody wants to see. So I think he's handled a little bit of adversity extremely well. He's battled through every single day. It's important as coaches that we understand we need to help the offense get better, which in turn is going to help Jordan Love get better. So, I guess you would call it some adversity that we've gone through on the offensive side side of the ball, I think Jordan's handled it like a professional student athlete. He battles, he doesn't point fingers, he gets up and he plays the next snap. And I really believe that it's real close to exploding and taking off. We just have to make sure that we continue through the grind, and it doesn't always come up roses every single day. And he's a great player. He's a tremendous young man. He is our leader of the football team, and he's the leader of the offense, obviously. So he's working to continually get better every game and every week and every practice, which is what he needs to do right now, what we need to do to help him, kind of break out.
Yeah, Coach, when you got a guy like Jordan Love and the infectious personality of Gerald Bright with his smile, I can see why it doesn't take you long for you to come around to get around this team.
Yeah, Gerald Bright definitely has that. He's got that smile, and he's just another kid that absolutely loves football. And when you see a senior like him, and with his leadership, and we don't have a big senior class. In fact, it's a very small senior class, and he walks back in, and as a back in that situation, it could be very easy for him to sit back and say, we've got this, and we've got Jalen Warren, and he knows we ought to have two backs. He's accepted that role extremely well. He's played well when we've needed him in big games to be able to close out the game and in the run game, and but he is infectious, and he's dynamic, and he's exciting to be around, and you just want a kid like that to have a ton of success his senior year for himself and for his team, and that drives you. A young man like Gerald Bright drives you.
When you look at the BYU quarterback situation, it's unique because they have Baylor Romney coming off of a win against Boise State, Jaron Hall coming off of concussion protocol. We're not sure who's going to start, so what's your philosophy when you have to prepare for multiple quarterbacks that have a different skill set?
Well, you look and study the film, and you get ready for both, which I don't see a dramatic change with the scheme of the offense with either young man playing. They've both been successful. They've both done good things, and BYU is they have good quarterbacks, and they're able to recruit high-level quarterbacks and continually get those young men there in the program. And it's a great testament to the recruiting, to their ability to be able to get great players there, and you're sitting back there, you got your number 2 quarterback, and all of a sudden you have your number 3 quarterback, and you go beat a ranked team in Boise. That's a great accomplishment for the young men as a team and as the quarterback as well, and so they'll be good. But we don't sit back and say it dramatically changes one quarterback or the other. They had a very good game plan against Boise and executed some key plays in key moments, key situations, and the quarterback was a big part of those.
What are your overall impressions of this team in general? I mean, there's so many with all the relationships, and guys, and their tendencies and how they like to coach, and you recruit a lot of the same players and things like. What are your overall impressions of this BYU team in general?
What you would expect, much in the same as when you've watched BYU for many years. Physical, tough, sound defense, run to the football. They like the game of football. You can see that on film offensively, keep you off pace. Don't let you kind of scheme them down into a whole week in, a week out and say, hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. A big offensive line that, I don't know where they all come from, but sometimes it looks like they're all stamped out of a machine down there somewhere where they make these guys. So they're all big, strong, physical kids and good athletes. And I've already talked about the quarterback and running back wise, we've known those guys in recruiting other than the young man that transferred, I believe, from Mississippi State, if I'm not misspoken on that. Is that correct?
You talking about Isupa?
Yeah, one of those.
He's from Rice.
Okay, Rice, excuse me. So, but we know a lot of those kids through recruiting also, and you're correct that we do bang around and recruit some of the same guys as we go through time. But it looks like a BYU team should look. Good-looking team that likes to play the game of football and in my opinion, is extremely well coached. So you have to, and that would prove on what they've done on the football field. There's everybody always on the outside has all the answers, but this BYU team has beat some really good football teams, and they've lost to some really good football teams also, and they're battling and they're in a good spot, and that's why I believe this will be a heck of a football game.
Gary, it's great to catch up with you. Let's finish with this. We've had the privilege of working closely with your current director of football operations, Zach Nyborg, when he was in a similar position at BYU for a short time. Frankly, I need something to tease him about, so what can you put in my arsenal?
Well, he needs to get married. That's easy. That's a slam dunk. That's the easiest one in the whole world right there. And you know, we've kind of had him everywhere we can, right? Okay. Well, I mean, he came. He's been with me for a while at 2 or 3 different places, and then he goes with you guys. And you know, if that guy can't go find a girl in Provo, then what is going on? I mean, we got some serious issues. So, and I keep telling him every single day, you know, that funnel gets a little bit smaller every single day. So it's gets tougher and tougher the older he gets. Now he's bald, so it's even harder to find a girl. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Okay, you've given me ample. Coach, great to catch up with you. Look forward to seeing you in Logan this Saturday.
All right, guys, take care.